The commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War now begins.
An 80-gun salute is fired to mark the 80 years since the victory of the War of Resistance. The thunder of guns resembles roars of soldiers on the battleground. It is also like a song of triumph, transcending the time and space to tell our fallen heroes. China today is a great country with majestic mountains and rivers, and its people are full of pride and ambition.
The Great Wall symbolizes the unyielding spirit of the Chinese nation. This great nation never bows to any enemy or any force. Those who dare to invade us are doomed to crash into the Iron Great Wall with bloodshed.
Chinese people's deep love towards the motherland can be seen from the steadfast gaze of the honor guards. When their patriotism erupts like a volcano, there will be no insurmountable hurdles or unachievable feats for them. The wheel of history never stops. Under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese nation, with a firm grip on its own destiny, is marching forward staunchly and proudly.
Raise the national flag and sing the national anthem. All my fellow Chinese across the nation, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and representatives of international organizations, distinguished guests, All officers and soldiers participating in the parade, comrades and friends. Today, we gather here to solemnly commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. It is an occasion for us to remember history, honor fallen heroes, cherish peace, and create a better future. On behalf of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, the National People's Congress, the State Council, the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission, I would like to pay high tribute to our veteran soldiers and comrades, patriots, and officers who fought in the war of resistance against Japanese aggression, and to the Chinese nationals from home and abroad who made important contributions to our victory. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to foreign governments and friends that supported and assisted the Chinese people in resisting aggression. I also extend a warm welcome to our guests from around the world who are with us today. Comrades and friends, the Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression was a great war fought with tenacity and valor. Under the banner of the National United Front against Japanese aggression, established at the initiative of the Communist Party of China, the Chinese people stood up to fight the formidable enemy with an iron will and formed a great war with flesh and blood to defend the nation, and ultimately achieved the first complete victory in resisting foreign aggression in modern times. The Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression was an important part of the World Anti-Fascist War. With huge national sacrifice, the Chinese people made major contributions to saving human civilization and safeguarding world peace. History cautions us that humanity rises and falls together. Only when all countries and nations treat each other as equals, coexist in peace, and support each other, can we uphold common security, eradicate the root cause of war, and prevent the reoccurrence of historical tragedies. Comrades and friends, the Chinese nation is the great nation that is never intimidated by any bullies and always values independence and forges ahead. In the past, when faced with critical struggles between good and evil, light and darkness, progress and reaction, the Chinese people rallied together to defy the enemy. They fought for the survival of the country, for the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, and for justice of the whole humanity. Today, humanity again has to choose between peace and war, dialogue and confrontation, win-win cooperation and zero-sum game. The Chinese people firmly stand on the right side of history and the progress of human civilization.
坚持走和平发展道
We
路，
will remain committed to the path of peaceful development and join hands with all peoples around the world in building a community with a shared future for humanity.
中国人民解放军
The Chinese People's Liberation Army has been
党和人
and
民
will always be
完全可以
the
信赖
heroic
的
armed
英
forces that
雄
the
部队。
party and the people can fully trust and rely on.
要忠实履行神圣
All
职
service
责，
members should
加快
faithfully
建
perform
设
their
世界
sacred
一
duties,
流军队，
speed up the building of a
坚决
world-class
维护
military,
国家主权
and firmly safeguard
统一
China's sovereignty,
领土完整
unity, and territorial integrity.
为实现中华民族伟大
All
复兴
service members should
提
provide
供战略支
strategic
撑，
support for the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation and make greater contributions to the peace and development of the world.
历史承载过去，
History carries the legacy of the past and inspires the future.
新时代新征程，
On a new journey in a
全国
new
各族
era,
人民
the Chinese people
要在中
of
国共
all
产党
ethnic
坚
groups
强领导
should,
下，
under the strong leadership of the Communist Party of
坚
China,
持马克思列宁
follow
主义、
Marxism, Leninism,
毛泽东
Mao
思
Zedong
想、
thought,
邓小平
Deng
理论
Xiaoping theory,
三个代表重要思
the
想，
theory of three represents,
科学发展观
and the scientific outlook and
全面
development,
贯彻新时代
and fully
中国
implement
特
the
色，
thoughts on
社会
socialism
主义思
with
想，
Chinese characteristics for the new era.
坚定不移走中国特色社
We
会
should
主
stay
义道
firmly
路，
on a path of socialism with
传承
Chinese
和弘扬
characteristics and carry
伟
forward
大
the
抗
great
战精
spirit of the war of
出
resistance.
力奋发，
We should press the
勇
head
毅
with
前行，
enterprise and resolve,
为
and
中国式
advance
现
in
代
unity
化
the cause of building
全面
China
推
into
进
a great
强
country
国建
on
设
all fronts
民
and
族
realizing great
复兴
national
伟业
rejuvenation through
而
China's
团结奋
modernization.
斗。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡。
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人类
nation
和
is
平与发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜
development
利。
of humanity will prevail. The parade now begins. Markers in position.
The parade guards mark positions and boundaries at the parade ground. 60 soldiers will line up in front of the eastern and western ornament columns on the Tiananmen Square.
Marching with steadfast footsteps and imposing bearing, the ironclad troops showcase their unshakable faith, strong conviction, strict discipline, and firm commitment to their duties. At this solemn moment today, the People's Armed Forces are ready for the inspection of General Secretary of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, Chinese President, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Xi Jinping. They are also ready to be reviewed by the party and the people.
Comrade Chairman, the troops for review are fully prepared. Please proceed with the inspection. Chief Commander of the Parade, Han Zhengxuan. Let's begin.
The foot formations are now adjusting their lines. Vehicles and armaments are lining up. They will soon march to the Tiananmen rostrum.
The People's Liberation Army is known as the PLA. In 1927, its frontrunners were founded by the Communist Party of China. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the PLA has also undertaken the tasks of national defense and socialist construction, while transforming itself into a more revolutionary and modernized military.
China pursues a national defense policy that is defensive in nature. China will never seek hegemony, expansion, or spheres of influence. China has formulated a three-step development strategy for modernizing national defense.
warplanes that form the aerial echelons will take off from several airports and fly over the Tiananmen Square.
A total of 45 formations and echelons are involved in the Grand Parade. During the parade march past, airborne flag-guarding echelons, foot formations, battle flag formations, armament columns, and aerial echelons will pass through or fly past Tiananmen Square in order. The parade is organized under a wartime command system and will involve thousands of troops, over 100 aircraft, and hundreds of ground armaments.
Commence the march past.
The march past begins with the airborne flag guard echelon.
Helicopters are bearing the banners that read, "Justice will prevail, peace will prevail, the people will prevail." And most of the weapons and equipment are shown to the public for the first time. It not only embodies the continuation of the heroic armed forces during the War of Resistance, but also demonstrates the new look of the people's military in the new era with enhanced political awareness and its new structure and force composition, new progress in modernization, and new achievements in enhancing combat readiness.
Holding high the party, national, and military flags, the formation of the Guard of Honor of the PLA is marching toward us. The People's Armed Forces, under the leadership of the CPC, are always the defenders of the country, socialism, and people's interests.
With majestic bearing, the 7 combat groups of the armament formations, led by the banner formation, are ready to be revealed. Once utilizing inferior weapons during the War of Resistance,
The banner formation showcases 80 honorary banners of the hero unit troops.
4 formations of the Land Combat Group are ready to be reviewed. Driving towards us is the Cyberspace Combat Formation. The 4 types of equipment being inspected can command and control, detect and sense, and carry out cyber and electronic countermeasures in an integrated way. It is a new force that consolidates cyber defense and empowers joint force operations.
Next to be inspected is the Unmanned Combat Group, consisting of 3 formations. First, we have the Unmanned Land Combat Formation. These unmanned vehicles can carry out various tasks such as reconnaissance, assaults, mine and bomb defusing and removal, and SWAT assistance. They can be operated remotely and are able to move independently, work flexibly in groups, and make intelligent maneuvers. With them, the Army can make coordinated operations between manned and unmanned forces.
Now approaching is the Unmanned Maritime Combat Formation. Being reviewed now are new types of unmanned underwater vehicles and unmanned surface vehicles, as well as underwater mine deployment systems, which are capable of hidden deployment and blockade, independent target identification, and group-based attacks. They are extraordinary weaponry to win maritime combat.
Passing by next is the Unmanned Aerial Combat Formation. The new models of weaponry include reconnaissance and strike drones, unmanned wing planes, unmanned air domination planes, and unmanned aircraft carrier-borne helicopters. Covering a wide range of space, they can attack in a way that is difficult to be detected and can automatically coordinate with one another, creating a new model of future-oriented aerial combat scenario.
The 2 formations of the Logistics and Equipment Support Group are to be reviewed. The Logistics Support Formation consists of field ambulances, field hospital installations, fuel transport and refueling vehicles, and field hot meal providing system. They have greatly enhanced modern logistics support for the troops.
Among the Equipment Support Formation are light repair vehicles, wheeled emergency rescue and repair vehicles, disassemble and assemble repair vehicles, and electromechanical maintenance vehicles. It's like an armored hospital for weapons and equipment.
Next to be inspected is the Strategic Strike Group, consisting of 4 formations. First, we have the Cruise Missile Formation, with naval, air, and rocket forces being organized into a joint group. The Changjian 20A, Yingji 18C, Changjian 1000 missiles can implement long-range precision strikes, creating multi-domain deterrence.
Speed is key to victory. And now we have the hypersonic missile formation. The new types of missiles, Yingji 21, Dongfeng 17, and Dongfeng 26D, can fly at an extremely high speed, excel at breaking through blockage, and hit targets with high precision. They are vital to victory during all-weather combat.
Coming up next for inspection is the first nuclear missiles formation. The heavyweight weapons in the group include Jinlei-1 air-based long-range missile, Julang-3 submarine-based intercontinental missile, Dongfeng 61 land-based intercontinental missile, and the new land-based intercontinental missile of Dongfeng 31. It's the first time the tank showcases its nuclear force in land, sea, and air together. They are mighty strategic deterrents to safeguard national sovereignty and dignity.
Now coming to us is the second nuclear missiles formation. The Dongfeng 5C liquid intercontinental strategic nuclear missile can strike any target around the world with its extensive shooting range. It is capable of providing defense and deterrence at any minute. With these strategic heavyweight weapons in hand, China has forged a shield of peace to its safety. The people's military are loyally fulfilling their duties to safeguard the nation and its people, as well as world peace. Air echelons will soon arrive for inspection. The aircraft feature an early warning and reconnaissance, long-range strike, aerospace control operation, strategic delivery, and logistics support will show the PLA's increasing air combat capabilities. First flying past is the echelon of early warning and command aircraft. The echelon of Kongjin 500A early warning planes and J-16 fighters, and the echelon of Kongjin 600 early warning planes and J-15T shipboard fighters pass through in turn for inspection. The development and deployment of the latest domestically made early warning aircraft has remarkably improved the PLA's capabilities in command and control, early warning and detection, and coordinated strike.
Now approaching is the echelon of special purpose aircraft. Under the escort of J-16 fighters, White 9 anti-submarine patrol aircraft, electronic reconnaissance aircraft, and radar jamming aircraft form the 3V formations. The deployment of the various types of special-purpose aircraft has significantly increased the PLA's abilities in maritime and air reconnaissance, patrol and surveillance, and electromagnetic neutralization.
Closely following is the echelon of transport aircraft. Y-20A transport planes and Y-20B transport planes make up two V formations and are flying in a combat mode. New type multifunctional transport aircraft equipped with new domestically made engines feature long flight range, high loading capacity, and high speed. With the capacity of long-distance strategic delivery, they have carried out multiple major missions at home and abroad.
Now flying over is the echelon of bombers, composed of three V formations that consist of H-6N strategic bombers, H-6K bombers, and H-6J bombers. As a major force in long-range strike, the aircraft were capable of long-distance range, patrol in a large area, and attacks outside its defense zone.
Now flying over Tiananmen Square is the echelon of three Yunyou 20A airborne refueling tankers, which are ready to refuel H-6N bombers, J-16 fighters, J-20 fighters. The deployment of domestically made refueling tankers has enabled China's fighter planes to operate long-distance flights.
Are two V formations of fighter jets that include J-16D, J-20, J-35A, J-20S, and J-20A. With the fielding of multiple new type stealth fighters, the PLA is speeding up the fighter jets upgrades.
Now, above in the sky is the echelon of carrier-based aircraft, composed of two V formations of J-15DH, J-15DT, J-35, and J-15T carrier-based aircraft. From ski jump takeoff to catapult takeoff, and from a single type to multiple models, China's carrier-based aircraft has undergone a leapfrog development.
is the echelon of trainer aircraft. J-10 aerobatics plane stage an aerial display of 14 colored smoke trails, symbolizing the 14 years of war of resistance against Japanese aggression and the bright prospects of over 1.4 billion Chinese people striving for national rejuvenation.
All markers fall out. Release the peace staffs.
See 80,000 doves flying into the sky. Let's honor our heroes, uphold justice, and safeguard peace. This land and people will forever remember the fallen heroes, whose spirits are immortal.
The commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of Resistance against the Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War has now concluded.